Mill has been open since 1973. More than 30,000 children have ended their lives in that facility. And we're all committed in a way. It's just very exciting to me to see 40 Days for Life just begin to spread and blossom, to seeing to it that that ends. You know, it's often difficult to know when an unborn child's life has been saved, but sometimes God will give you a little extra information. 3 years ago, I was praying in front of the abortion facility, and I would do a variety of things. Sometimes I'd simply stand. Sometimes I would raise my hands, kind of the Moses prayer, when Moses was trying to intercede for the people of Israel, for their protection and for Israel's victory. Sometimes I would kneel, but it was obvious to anybody who went in the door that I was praying. A young woman went up the stairs, entered the facility. They took her blood pressure, and suddenly she left. A couple of days later, she wound up at Pregnancy Center West. And they got around to, well, how did it happen that you came here? And she said, well, there was this old man praying in front of the abortion facility, and I just couldn't go through with it. And 5 months later, her son was born. Now, we don't always get information like that, such clear identification that took place. More typical is what happened last Thursday, a week ago. A woman in her 20s passed with her apparent boyfriend slowly to the front of the abortion facility. They stopped at the door for about 5 minutes. They just stood there, obviously discussing something very important. And then they went off to the other side of the burger store. They were gone about 10 minutes. And when they came out of the burger store, the man left the girl. He continued back across in front of Kathy Reedy and I, who were praying. And the young lady came out of the burger store, sat down on the sidewalk with her back against the brick wall, just kind of staring out into space. Now, the young man went all the way around behind the abortion facility and Burger King and came in from the left. And with him was the young girl and a third adult male who was apparently supposed to change her mind and talk her into doing this. They passed slowly in front of us, and we were perhaps as far away from them as I am from the back of the church, maybe closer than that. And they continued on past the door. They didn't want to be near us. It was the read I had. They went to the back of the building, and then about 2 minutes later, they were back in front of us again. This time they were walking slowly past us from right to left, and the girl hung back behind the two men. As they went off to the left and stopped, she turned, looked straight at Kathy Reedy and I, making sure that they couldn't see her. She smiled, and she waved, and then turned back again to the men. About 2 minutes later, we saw their car come past us. The two men in front, she was sitting alone in the back. So there was no abortion on that particular Thursday. It takes at least 50 minutes inside the facility for that to take place. To put this in context, John Paul the Great visited the United States 5 times between 1979 and 2005. And he talked to different audiences on different topics in different places, but there's a kind of an essence of his message that could be distilled from all those many speeches he made. And he said, America